It's the weekend. Hope you're having a good weekend. The word for you today, this Saturday, July the 6th. Psalm 101, verse 3 says, I will set before my eyes no vile thing. The deeds of faithless men I hate. They will not cling to me. Christ can set us free. He has the power. He is able. Christ can set us free. But see, when we put ourselves in difficult positions, we can't just go out and live any way we want to. We can't just go out and sin and just have God make everything all right. No, there are consequences to our decision. Psalm 101 is a chapter about holiness. It's about desiring to want to be with God above everything else. In Psalm 101, verses 2 and 3, it's talking about a personal commitment to walk in holiness by not setting before our eyes any vile things. Addictions. How do addictions come about? Addictions come about because we don't eliminate those things in our lives. It could be drugs, alcohol, it could be pornography, it could be eating. The effects of the addictions destroy people, reputations, families, careers. And what Psalm 101 is talking about, it's talking about when that thing that is so hard for us to say no comes, not setting our eyes on it. Horses. Horses have eyes on the side of the head. Their peripheral vision is great. It's also why horses are very easily distracted. So sometimes they put blinders on them so the horses look just straight ahead. They're not affected by things on the side. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about here, is not allowing our eyes to drift to things that would pull us down. So how do we keep from being a statistic that gives into addiction? Well, make a decision. When we see something that we don't like, or we see something that we like, but we shouldn't have, we turn our head and we move on. Pop-ups on computers, ads on TV, invitations from people to go to a place that we know we really shouldn't go. Not going to take my eyes there. Things that you see. Don't let your eyes lead you. You direct your eyes to what your eyes are going to see. So how do we apply this in our lives? Well, hate things that people do that destroy them. You say, what do you mean? Well, I have nothing to do with those things. When we like being around somebody, we go with them and we be around them. But what if we like somebody and they're going to a place where we know isn't a good place to go? Well, don't go with them. But I like being with them. Okay, that's good, but don't go those places with them. When something comes on TV that we know we shouldn't see, turn it off or change channels. When you're listening to something you know you shouldn't listen to, turn it off or get away from there. Hate those things that can lead us into a place where we shouldn't go. And then place enjoyable things, good things in your life that build you up and not tear you down. In order to not do something, we need to replace it with something else. If there's something that I really like, but I know it's going to cause problems for me, well, I need to have something else that I really like that is not going to cause problems for me. So what is it? Well, sometimes helping other people. Somebody wants you to go to this party, but there's things going on at the party that, man, it's hard for you to say no to. Well, do something else where you're helping somebody that can't help themselves or they can't help you. See if that doesn't make you feel better. And my goodness, you can sleep a whole lot better. And then, when do most people get in trouble? It's when they have too much time on their hands. Remember King David? It's a time when kings are off battle. His army was off battling, but he was at home. He was on a rooftop. That's when he saw Bathsheba. We know how that went. So fill your mind with God's Word. Fill your mind with things that build you up, not tear you down. When we're thinking of things that tear us down, the more we think about them, the more we're going to desire them. So get rid of those thoughts, but in order to get rid of them, you have to replace them with something good. And God's Word is a great thing to use to replace that. For me, Psalm 51:10, God, create in me a pure heart and renew a right relationship, a right spirit within me. Do that. Isaac Newton was he was reflecting on things. He was looking at a mirror and doing different things, and he was working on another invention and all. And he began reflection of a mirror in the sun, and he stared at it long enough that he incurred temporary blindness. Now, had he gone a little bit longer, he would have had permanent blindness. But as it was, it turned out to be temporary blindness. But you think a guy that smart would know, don't do that. But he kept doing it, even though he knew it was harmful. He kept doing it. That's what happens when we keep looking at things that we know are going to harm us. Harm comes, and sometimes it's not temporary. So let me ask you, is there anything in your life that you need to move out of your mind, out of your eyesight, and change? God's Word is a great place to get started. Just read it. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, read about Jesus. Proverbs has a lot of wisdom. Psalms has a lot of stories in there and of people who are in that situation and where they find their help. But replace those things that get you in trouble with something that builds you up. Have a good weekend.